Basically, they were along the lines of, boy, aren't we playing well?
The slingy Malinga, here we go. Bang on target. Yeah, it was a terrific performance to hit the ground running. They hadn't played for some time. Their last one-day series was against India. It was a triangular and they beat India. And that was probably about 2 months ago, I'd say. That was very consistent performances from all the individuals in the Sri Lankan side, but they've never won a series in Australia. So to start the way they did at the WACA, and I think out of 14 benches or games at the WACA, that's their second victory. So terrific performance.
Yes, the other thing that one wants to bear in mind is the fact that the World Cup is only around the corner. And this Sri Lankan team very keen to do well against Australia in the lead up to that World Cup. They know full well that they may well run into them again as they did last time round. And if they do, they'll want to be ready for them. And the best way to do that is to win a few matches down in Australia.
A little blend of old and new now on this Sri Lankan side. There's been a little bit of a transition. That one just playing across the line slightly, but Australia are underway. Nicely clipped by Watson.
Lasith Malinga is a very good bowler. I've been watching him for a number of years now. He's got good control, unusual action. A little bit like Terry Alderman, the Australian, used to be. He gets his bowling hand in front of the umpire's eyes as he lets the ball go. You might look at it and say, well, that's not a perfect action, but he does bowl in perfect fashion.
Yes, and he's quite quick as well and gets them jumping around.
The two catches in the slips. I think the interesting thing with Malinga is when you haven't faced him for a while, or if you're taking him on for the first time, there's a definite surprise element because of this slingy action. And this will give a good illustration of what Richie Beno is talking about. That arm comes right around in such a slingy motion in front of the umpire. It's an incredible action.
Keeps his left arm up very nicely. He's got...
Here's Malinga, two slips in place again. And that's nasty. He skids onto the bat, 144k, that's quick.
Yeah, it certainly was quick. 144.1 kilometres an hour. It hasn't taken him long to get going, and this one really did surprise Watson. Notice how it bounced a little bit more than he expected. It hit, might even have hit the fingers of the top hand. Perhaps he was playing just a little bit low, thinking about running it down to third man. That surprised him.
There's a big shout, but it was very much leg side delivery. Element of risk when you're playing across the line. You've got to make sure, because he's so stump to stump, by that I mean the ball is released in front of the umpire. You've got to be very careful if you're playing across the line. More than with other bowlers, I think Watson's got to be thinking down the ground, and he plays so well straight. So does Brad Haddon. They'll be very mindful of not getting across the ball too much. LBW comes into play.
Just a little look at the release here. See if we can just freeze the release point of Lasith Malinga. Just watch exactly where it leaves his hand. Right there, you can see it's over the top of middle stump. Right in the line of, almost from the throat of the umpire.
He's fairly steady at the...
On their television sets right around the country.
Straight in the air, straight in the air. It's a leading edge and it's been taken. So the pressure was on Watson. He could never really get into any stride in the innings. Lacking flow. And the big breakthrough for Sri Lanka.
Yeah, very good bit of bowling there, and that short delivery. And Watson, it was actually a slower ball, and that's why he front edged it. He was trying to flick it square, slightly slower delivery, and no problems there with taking the catch. Have a look at the celebration. I think that tells you something. They value getting Watson out. They know how dangerous he can be. It's one